Shri Mataji, a very good morning to all of you. A very happy Chinese New Year to everyone who's celebrating this auspicious day. Let's all collectively offer pranams with our Agya to the Mother Earth, and in all humility, we seek permission to meditate collectively online today. Followed by raising our Kundalini and taking bandhans. Let's take 3 Mahamantras followed by Shri Ganesh Mantra.
त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री महालक्ष्मी महासरस्वती महाकाली त्रिगुणात्मिका कुण्डलिनी साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री कल्की साक्षात् श्री सहस्र स्वामिनी मोक्षप्रदायिनी माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः। ॐ त्वमेव साक्षात् श्री गणेश साक्षात् श्री आदिशक्ति माताजी श्री निर्मला देव्यै नमो नमः।
Attention from Mooladhara to Swadhisthana and on the Nabhi and void area. Let's move our attention around the void area 10 times. Attention on Anahat Chakra. Mother, by your grace, I am the pure spirit. Please forgive me if I may have done any mistakes against my spirit knowingly or unknowingly. Shri Shiva Parvati. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Shiva Parvati Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Devai Namo Namaha. Attention on Vishuddhi Chakra. Shri Mataji, please raise us higher to the state of detached witness, Anasakta Sakshi. Please bless us to be able to see the Maya around us in the state of detached witness. Please remove all the guilt, all the jealousies, all the thoughts of competing with each other, comparing ourselves with each other completely. Please bless us with the sweetness in our words and actions. Bandhans to Vishuddhi Chakra, followed by bandhans to Agya Chakra. Nirvichar Samadhi. Om Tvameva Sakshat Shri Nirvichar Samadhi Sakshat Shri Adi Shakti Mataji Shri Nirmala Deve Namo Namaha. In this meditative state, let's absorb Shri Mataji's Amritvani.
Brothers and sisters of the world, it is a great honor for me to talk about global problems of women in front of this distinguished assembly. First of all, I would like to offer my profound gratitude to the government and people of our host country, the People's Republic of China. I've had the privilege of visiting China on 2 previous occasions, and I am a great admirer of the wisdom and culture of this great nation that I am. This is beyond my imagination, the most glorious time in the history of the world, that at this time we are so much aware of the problems of women. Women as a whole have definitely suffered over the ages, as the previous lady has told you, because we have not realized that their importance is, what their importance is and what their proper role is in human society. Society itself, which is her creation, tries to control or put down the woman. In the East, we can say that due to fundamentalist influence, women have been under great pressure, and their morality is based on fear rather than freedom. In the West, they have fought for their freedom, but what they have attained is truly a street. The women in the West have freedom to abandon all social and moral values. Thus, in the East, we can say that most of the women are timid, oppressed, and cannot express themselves, while in the West we find most of the women are reduced to a sex symbol. They are keen to expose their body, their anxiety is to appear in fashion advertisements, and very cheap popularity. Most of them accepted this position because otherwise they could not have survived in that chaotic world of the West. What most of the women in the East regard as very humiliating and degrading is regarded as something very glorifying in the West. I've seen both the worlds very deeply, and I feel that unless and until we bring a new culture by which women from the East and West can both rise in their own esteem and express themselves in such a way that we create high moral standards for their society, women neither in the East nor in the West will rise to their full stature of feminine speciality. The speciality is that if women are respected for their womanhood, understanding what they are capable of and how they can empower themselves, with all the education needed, all the security will be provided to them, and they will provide security to the society. All the fundamentalists who talk of religion expect women to be absolutely moral, and the men can do whatever they like. I feel we have to educate men more than women. Because the idea of war comes also only from the men beginning. I must admit, it is not difficult to collect money for poor women in the developing countries and help them to get out of their poverty. But unfortunately, my knowledge is that the money we are collecting may not reach the poor women, but may end up into the pockets of the corrupt ministers, bureaucrats, and other people in charge, and ultimately it will end up in the Swiss bank. I do not want to criticize any UN organization because I know they are very honest in their purpose. But they must be made aware of what is happening under the table. We in India have two very big states called Uttar Pradesh and Bihar, which are very much helped by UNICEF as well as the World Health Organization. UNICEF started a project called Angan, meaning courtyard, where the children were to be educated and brought up in a proper shape. This project is not working at all for the children, but all the money goes into the pockets of all the corrupt people who are in charge of that project, and the children do not even get 2% of what is being sent for them. Same with the World Health Organization, which is sending medicines and equipment to India. These medicines are sold in the market and are completely used by the recipients for their own gains. The same happens to WHO equipment, so the poor people never get any benefit and they remain all the time helpless. All this money is called dirty money, but goes to the clean Swiss bank. A large part of the loans which the World Bank gives to the developing countries is also siphoned back to the personal accounts of the corrupt officials maintained in Swiss banks. Thus, all these developing countries are indebted to the World Bank but have no money. The money is in the Swiss bank. So I would request the UN to take this up with the Swiss bank and request them to return all such money which has been siphoned to the people and give this money to the UN so that the UN can utilize it for the education of women and other purposes as well as for distributing to people under very effective vigilance. One has to have a very good network of people, especially women, who are involved and who are honest, compassionate, and who would like to make the best out of this money, helping the women who have to achieve social equality. The main work of women here is to create a good society that will enjoy peace better. Immorality, corruption, and violence are the two horrible monsters which are eating up our society. I would blame the mothers of these for corrupt and immoral persons because they fail in their duty as mothers in their child. The loving training of the mother is the first and most effective influence in shaping the children into beautiful students. Mothers who never try to guide with great concern and love, or the wives of the daughters who are falling into the fear of the men or of the destructive culture, have not done their duty as integral members of the family to strengthen the moral fiber of the men. It is important also to see how children are treated in these two cultures of East and West. What we see in the East is that the children who listen to their mothers, if they are not under fundamentalist culture, this culture relegates women to the level of an inferior human being, fit to be dominated by men and children. In the West, also the same thing happens. Children don't respect their mothers. Neither do they listen to them. I feel this is because generally the Western women spend more time looking after their body and looks than on looking after and loving their children. The link between the mother and children weakens and breaks. It is for this reason that many children become street urchins and wild. Fortunately, there are still many families in the East and some in the West who deeply defy the corrupting influence of today and look after their children and bring them up properly. But still I must say that the children in the East are not that much doing as they are in the West. The reason also is that in the East there are many people who have not taken to fundamentalist culture or to the Western culture and have a very good society and produce children who are exceptionally good, though this number may not be very great. But whatever culture they have inherited since long traditionally is very much ingrained in them, and to them the moral value system is the highest, more than money or power. The West is full of problems. Though they have money, they don't have peace within and without. The truth is that women are the potential power of a civilization and evidence. It is evident that women are the creators and the preservers of the entire humankind. This is the role which the Almighty God has given, assigned to them. Seeds cannot create anything by themselves. It is the Mother Earth which provides the flowers and the fruits and other bounties. Similarly, it is the women who create the child, who nurtures the baby and eventually brings up the citizen of tomorrow. Women must therefore rank with Mother Earth as the edifice of the entire humanity. Unfortunately, men have utilized muscle power to gain a dominating position over women. They have not recognized that women are complementary and equal, but not similar partners in human endeavors. A society that does recognize this fundamental truth and does not give to women their rightful role is not a civilized society. In my own country, there is a saying in Sanskrit, which means that where the women are respected and respectable, there resides the gods of our well-being. So it is for us at this moment to understand the value of this great power that is given to us by our Creator. But what do we find, whether in the East or the West? Women have not been able to give a full manifestation of their graces. I am not suggesting at all that the only role of women in human society is that of the mother, the procreator and the preserver of children, or that of a wife or a sister. Women have a full right to participate as equal partners in every aspect of life: social, cultural, educational, political, economical, administrative, and the rest. In order to prepare themselves for this all-pervading role, they must have the right to education in all branches of knowledge. But if they are mothers, they have a great responsibility towards their children as well as their society. Men are responsible for politics and economics of the country, but women are responsible for the society. Women can also support men. They can make leading part, of course, in any position. But it is very important that they should not forget they are women who have to manifest deep motherly concern and love. If they become manly and aggressive, the balance of the society cannot be maintained. At the same time, I must admit that while we ask for the rights of women, we must also stress the fundamental duties of women to the human society. If the women in the West are those who are educated in the West, also some others are educated. I have gone to the other extreme when they are taking to political, economical or administrative goals. To compete with men, they have become much too selfish, self-centered and ambitious. They have no more their soothing, pleasing qualities which can bring peace and balance. On the contrary, they become dominating, pleasure-seeking individuals. They are far more worried about their physical attraction than about having a pleasing, sweet and dignified personality. They give in to their base self much faster than men, wittingly or unwittingly. All this leads to chaotic societies and children grow up into street urchins preparing for wars. What we need is a balance between the two extremes. We need women as equal but not similar partners with men, but with a subtle understanding of the nature of men and how to bring them into the center with their inner balance. We need balanced women in order to have a balanced human race with peace within itself. You might say, oh, this is excellent in thought, but how do we achieve this state of balance? How do we stem the tide of diseases, corruption, immorality, immaturity and violence? How do we end the present state of conflict and confusion? How do we bring about peace within every mind and heart? I very humbly submit that there is an answer to these questions. There is a new way. If you permit, should I explain the guidance of ministry?
Yeah, maybe you can just help them because you have
You have
three
never opened
movements.
up of the time.
Okay, you have three movements.
Whatever I am going to tell you now is not to be taken for granted. You should, of course, have your minds open at times and treat whatever I am saying as a hypothesis. If this hypothesis can be proved, then you have to accept it as honest person, as absolute truth, because it is for your benevolence. It is for the benevolence of your family. It is for the benevolence of your country and for the benevolence of the whole world. I am here to tell you about the last breakthrough of our evolution. This breakthrough of our evolution is in our awareness, has to happen in this modern time, and has been moreover recorded in the writings of many seers. These are the times called as the decadent times, last called by great Saint Vyasa, who has written the Gita. And it is the decadence of humanity that we see around in every way possible. And unless and until we improve that, wars cannot be avoided. Now I would like to tell you the secret knowledge of our inner being, which was known in India thousands of years back. For our evolution and spiritual ascent, there is a residual power within us, which is located in the triangular bone at the base of our spine. This residual power is known as Kundalini. Though the knowledge of this power was available thousands of years back in India, the awakening of the Kundalini was done traditionally on an individual basis only. One guru would give awakening to one disciple. As a result of that awakening, what happens is that you achieve your self-realization, yourself. Secondly, when this power is awakened, it rises and passes to 637 energy centers in your body, nourishing them and integrating. Ultimately, this power breaks through the fontanelle bone area, called as the Talu or the Brahmaranda, and connects you to the all-pervading power of divine love, which is described in the Bible also as the cool breeze of the Holy Ghost, also in the Quran as Ruh, and also in the Indian scriptures as Param Chaitanya. Patanjali has called it as Ritambara. Whatever the name, this is a power which is all-pervading, which does all the subtle works of living process of evolutionary process. The existence of this all-pervading energy is not felt before realization, but after self-realization, you can feel it on your fingertips or at the center of your palm or above the fontanelle bone area. Moreover, this process has to be spontaneous, Sahaja. Sahaja means it and Ja means God. That means the right to get this union with the all-pervading power of divine love is the birthright of every human. Our mental energies are limited. Our limited mental energy, which is linear in movement and has no sustenance of reality, reaches a point and stops. From there it boomerangs, and all the mentally linear movement comes back to us as a punishment sometimes. So now we need more energy, higher energy, deeper energy, and for that this happening has to take place if we don't want to have another war. I must say that in the West, I have met many people who are true seekers of truth and are fed up of artificiality of the Western life. Also, they didn't know what they were seeking sometimes, and they have made lots of mistakes. They have gone to false gurus who have taken lots of money, and the people have become bankrupt and mentally and physically handicapped. The one thing you must know that the awakening of the Kundalini and thus achieving self-realization is a living process of evolution for which we cannot pay anything. It is like putting a seed in the Mother Earth to sprout, because Mother Earth has the power to sprout. This shows in the same way we have this generative power in the triangular mode with the Greeks called as segment. This is a 3.5 point energy. This shows that the Greeks knew that this was a sacred bone, and hence they gave the same name secular. Actually, in some people you can see this triangular bone pulsating and the Kundalini very slowly rising. But there are many who have got self-realization. Now this Sahaja Yoga is working in 65 nations, and they have all become extremely peaceful to each other. In their hearts they are integrated, and they have become extremely loving and compassionate. I'm sorry I want to see more, but the time is over, so I hope you don't mind. Thank you very much.
Let's bring our attention to our Hansa chakra with right Vishuddhi finger on our Hansa chakra. Shri Mataji, please bless us with the divine discretion and wisdom of Shri Ganesha on our Hansa chakra. Let's listen to a talk on Hansa chakra.
Paid much attention to this center of Hamsa, which is, I think, very important for the Western world rather than for the Indian or the Eastern. The reason is, at the Hamsa chakra, part of the Ida and Pigila come out and manifest. Means the expression of Ida Pigala is given through the Hamsa chakra. So this Hamsa chakra is the one that as if has not gone. up to the Agya, but is holding on certain threads or certain parts of the Ida and Pingala. And they start flowing through your nose, expressing through your eyes, from your mouth and from your forehead. So you know that Vishuddhi Chakra has got 16 petals which look after the eyes, nose, throat, tongue, teeth. But the expression part of it comes through the Hamsa Chakra of all these. So, it's a very, very important thing in a Western mind to understand Hamsa Chakra. There's a beautiful couplet about this in Sanskrit. Hansa Shvetaha Pakaha Shvetaha Ko Vedo Hansavakayo Nilakshira Viveketu Hansa Pakaha Pakaha. Meaning the crane and the swan, both are white. And what makes the difference between the two? If you mix the water and the milk together, the Hansa will just suck in the milk. So it can discriminate between the water and the milk. Why? The Baka means the crane cannot. It's a very significant thing for Sahaja Yogis to understand. Discretion is to be understood very deeply within ourselves, and how we develop discretion is very important in Sahaja Yoga. But before we go to that, let us see how this discretion plays a part very much in the manifestation of our expressions outside. We are the people in the West who always try to express ourselves outside. It's very important how you look. It's very important where you look, what you look, what you see. It's very important that your appearance should be good. Very particular, they spend lots of time in improving their appearances. This is the minimum. Then they have a method by which we call the medias. The country speaks or manifests through the medias, and the medias have to have a training. Every country has its speciality, one better than the other. And when you see all of them, you find they lack discretion completely. Also, in our speech, in our expression of literature, expression of poetry, expression of our relationships with others, any kind of expression requires discretion, which is a deep-seated knowledge or wisdom. If in the West people were not so much outside, they would have been much better off, I think. If, supposing in England, people don't become punks, then others will laugh at them. And they'll think that this man has no money to become a punk. So kind of a fashion that sets in a society of that kind, which has no discretion and which is very outward. Fashions won't work out in countries where they are deeply rooted into traditions and into proper understanding of life. Of course, the countries which have been very ancient have been traditionally trying to improve themselves with error and trial methods, have developed much better discretion, much better understanding. But the countries which are not gone through all that ordeal, have not worked out, have not gone through that discipline, lack in discretion. And that's why many of the people, though they are of very deep seeking, have gone astray. If they had discretion, they would not have gone astray, they would not have gone to wrong places, but the discretion was missing. So, it comes to the discretion how to use your Ida Nadi and Pingalani. And discretion to understand what is good and what is bad. Now let us see the Ida Nadi. Ida Nadi is very important because the discretion in this can only come through traditional understanding. Ida Nadi starts from the Ganesha's point, Muladhara. So first we miss the biggest support, the biggest help, the biggest nourishment of holiness and auspiciousness at Muladhara, if we have no discretion. We always take the thing which is detrimental to our growth and also which may destroy us, not only us but the whole country. We like people who are destructive when there is no discretion. Discretion means that you must choose the things which are good for, which are benevolent, which are good for the collective, which are good.
Let's be in meditative state. Both hands at heart level. Shri Mataji, please keep me the way you want me to be, the way I'll be worthy of your divine attention. Let's all collectively offer pranams, and with the feeling of gratitude, thank for this collective session. Then raise our Kundalini and take Vandans. Jai Shri Mataji.